The Radio Forest Podcast.
Hello, Forrest. It's Felipe Esparza.
Felipe Esparza, welcome, man. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Raging Fool on Netflix. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. I loved doing stand-up comedy, and I was very proud of that special.
How did that come together? Was that a special you had shot and then shopped it around, or did Netflix be like, hey, let's do something together? Here's a cool theater.
No, what happened was I did a special in 2019. No, in 2020, and then the whole world shut down. The pandemic started. I got lucky. My special was shot February of 2020 when the pandemic was just like you were just hearing it here and there. And then I shot my special 2 weeks later in February, and then everything shut down. And my special came out during the pandemic in September of 2020. So I didn't get to do a lot of press for it, like no press, actually. No press. I didn't do no press. And that was a Netflix special, and we had like a bunch of billboards, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And nobody really knew about it. But this special, my wife and I, we shot it ourselves, and we produced it ourselves with our money, like it was our money. And then we leased it to Netflix for 2 years.
Oh, so you do get it back, because I've heard before, if it's property of Netflix, like you don't get that back, and you also don't know how many people have seen it.
Yeah, also you don't get it back, and you don't get a billboard.
So since you and your wife shot it, then my question was going to be, was your family at the show? But then clearly, yes, because you've got a lot of jokes about your family in this special. Are they used to it by now?
Yeah, they're used to it by now. They want their cut. I talk about my brother a lot. He don't mind because he likes the jokes. And my mom, she got to see my whole hour, the way I was going to shoot it, which was my last special, Bad Decisions. She saw it live. Like I flew her out with me. She hung out with me in New York, and she saw it, and she approved it. She said, it didn't happen that way.
Yeah. And you've got the What's Up Fool podcast, 500 episodes. That's a lot, man. What are some memorable episodes for you once you hit 500?
Oh, man, we interviewed one of the guys from Hollywood Boulevard that dresses up like the Incredible Hulk for change.
Why was that more memorable than like having these big stars on?
Oh, because his story was amazing. I saw him on a documentary called Superheroes of Hollywood, and they interviewed all the superheroes that dress up and walk around Hollywood Boulevard, and they take pictures with the tourists, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and he ended up being the Incredible Hulk. And he was just some little guy dressed up wearing a big old Incredible Hulk outfit, walking around like the Incredible Hulk, 105 degrees inside a costume. He hit a string of bad luck immediately getting to Los Angeles before he was the Incredible Hulk. You know, like almost like a real life thing where all this anger was building up. When he first left to Los Angeles, he sold his PlayStation and bought a one-way ticket to Greyhound for Hollywood Boulevard.
Wow.
And on his way to Hollywood, he got pulled out of the bus because they thought he committed a murder. And later on, he was released because it wasn't him. So he got back on the bus. And when he got to Los Angeles, that's when was the first day of the LA riots. He ended up living in the hills of Hollywood. He said that he got a sleeping bag from Target, and he made a tent, and he lived in the Hollywood Hills to Los Angeles stopped burning. He's still hopeful. He looks at the world very happy and bright. He's like a modern day Job who's still confident.
Did you find similarities between that story and like the struggles of you and your family coming to America and the issues you went into and being chased and turned away and all that? Did you find connections?
Yes, because growing up, like most kids growing up, like we were illegal, but I didn't know. Like my mother never sat us down and said, listen, you're not like other people. Don't call them those names because those names apply to you too.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. My mom would just tell me on the way, don't talk to nobody, just run home. So we just run home. So I worked that into my material about being poor because I guess my parents were very good at hiding all that stuff from us. Because I remember I have a joke where I say that growing up, I didn't know I was poor. I didn't know how poor I was. So they transferred me and my friends to a better, nicer school. And then we were the only kids in that school standing in line for free lunch. We didn't know we were poor, but we felt better than those kids. We're looking at each other. That's messed up how they all have to pay.
You've been on also several huge podcasts, Something's Burning, Two Bears, Whiskey Ginger, Rogan, Pete Holmes, Harlan Williams. But my favorite one, I got to admit, is seeing you on Right Now with John Goblicon.
Oh, yeah, man. That was a lot of fun, that one. He's very sharp with it and witty.
How long does it take to shoot some of these podcasts? Is it pretty much everything they do goes out, or sometimes are you there ahead of time? There's a pre-interview, you're hanging out, and then they shoot, and you're hanging out afterwards. Does it take all day?
No, I get there, and then I was waiting for Goblicon to show up, and I wasn't expecting what I saw. And then he just started interviewing me, and he pretty much had all his notes together with his team, and we went at it. But the one that was weird was the other one I did with Matan, real curly hair. I don't know what to expect with that guy because I know he's like Eric Andre all over the place. And one of the questions he asked me, because I'm the co-host of the Eric Andre show, which is wild too. Matan said, a lot of people say that my show is like Eric Andre's show. I don't think so. And then his friend comes in, and he starts bashing our desk with a hat, with a baseball bat. Then he picks up a baseball bat and starts trashing the whole stage. And I remember that when we shoot our interviews with Eric Andre, it's crazy because, first of all, we have the heat up real hot to make the guests uncomfortable. So it's like 130 degrees. We interview them for 1 hour. 1 solid hour, and we cut it to 2 minutes.
Wow.
Yes. And we have stunts in between the show. Like we have one sketch when we had Blake Griffin from the Clippers and Detroit Pistons, Blake Griffin, and he was just sitting there chilling, and a little guy ran out dressed exactly like me, a little person. His name is Gabriel. It's like, this guy is 3 feet tall.
Dressed like you comes out.
Yeah, remember Mini-Me from Austin Powers? This guy is shorter than that guy. So he comes out with my Mini-Me, and he jumps on Blake Griffin's leg. He starts drinking champagne, and then he has long hair with me, so it's a pretty wild show.
And how was Eric Andre's party? I know you went to his party recently. That looked like that also was pretty wild.
Yeah, Eric Andre's parties are always themed. You know, they're always themed into something. One time it was at a desert, and it was called Hicksville, and all the trailers are themed. Like the inside might be all goth, so it's like Adam's family, the Munsters had a baby. The whole trailer is designed that way inside. And you might have one that's more like UFO, so it's more like the Jetson style, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but he had one party where it was his quinceañera, and he was turning 15 years old. He came in dressed like a quinceañera in a big old gown and a horse and carriage, and I was his godfather. And as soon as he got there, these wrestlers he hired started beating him up and body slamming him in front of everybody, and nobody knows what's going on.
So when you go to a party like this, it sounds very party scene, like drug and alcohol. And with your sobriety, was there ever a tough time to be around, not necessarily drugs and alcohol, but I actually quit drinking when I was 25 with some issues. And for like 2 years, I couldn't really go out and hang in that scene. And now I'm okay. Did you struggle with that at all? Is that kind of a weird vibe for you being sober or not really?
For me, it was harder because everywhere, my job has alcohol everywhere. Like my job wouldn't survive without alcohol. They have to sell alcohol at my job or they won't make no money.
Yeah.
So I gave myself 3 days first to sober up.
3 days.
So the first day was the toughest. Okay. Then the second day was, oh man. And then the third day was the hardest because it's usually after the third day is when I tell myself that I could beat this, and then I don't. So I ended up drinking it 1 day at a time, man. And my problem is drinking. If I have a drink, I gotta look for a drug dealer immediately. You know, like I can't I just can't have one beer like a normal person. Like I envy those people that can have a wine with dinner or a pitcher of beer with pizza and go home. not me, man.
Dude, I connect with that so much because I don't have a problem being around people drinking because I actually admire them. I'm like, oh, wow, no one's taking their shirt off and causing a scene. I'm kind of jealous of how fun you're having because I wish I wouldn't have ruined my relationship because I'm like you. I can't have one. It becomes 16, and then I end up who knows where.
I know. And you end up kidnapping people. Let's go party. I know there's party over here at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. I'd end up in any car. If you told me something was cool, I'd be with you in a second.
You know what's crazy is how you would lie to people. Yeah, man. Oh, you want to go eat? I know the hamburger spot. And you wait, and then you end up leaving with some shady person there.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Now, you've got the At My Leisure tour coming to Boise here, Friday, Egyptian Theater. How do you do with traveling? I always struggle with traveling because I just can't eat well. I can't sleep well. I know that you're vegan. I know you've been losing some weight. How do you do that on the road, or have you been a road dog for so long it's not that much of a challenge anymore?
Oh, man. Now, before it was tough because I would just have to eat Taco Bell, a burrito with just beans, and that's it. Now I just I travel sometimes with my own little lunch, or I make a big lunch before I leave, and then I eat in an airplane. Or sometimes, I eat an oatmeal, and then I'm fine. But I pretty much figured it out already. But before, when I was a meat eater, man, I was eating everywhere, man. I would eat a hamburger in the morning with a Coke for breakfast. But what I miss most, I miss cheese. I miss pizza, real cheese.
Have you tried any of the vegan cheese? I know they have some. Some of the vegan stuff's getting a lot better. The fake meat, I actually like. I can't tell it in tacos.
Impossible meat tastes good. Like, I love those tacos, the hard shell tacos with impossible meat. And it's better now. It's got a lot better because before, meat didn't taste that good. Like, it tastes like chicken if you forgot what chicken tasted like.
Well, Raging Fool is on Netflix. He's got the What's Up Fool podcast. He's got another podcast, History of Fools. He talked about working with Eric Andre. And it's the At My Leisure World Tour, Friday, May 2nd, Egyptian Theater in Boise. Felipe Esparza, man, it's a complete honor to talk to you today. Thanks for taking some time.
Thanks for having me, Forrest.